F. The buyer of choice. Two economic factors probably contributed to the rush of acquisition activity we experienced last year. First, many managers and owners foresaw near-term slowdowns in their businesses, and, in fact, we purchased several companies whose earnings will almost certainly decline this year from peaks they reached in 1999 or 2000. The declines make no difference to us, given that we expect all of our businesses to now and then have ups and downs. Only in sales presentations of investment banks do earnings move forever upward. We don't care about the bumps. What matters are the overall results. But the decisions of other people are sometimes affected by the near-term outlook, which can both spur sellers and temper the enthusiasm of purchasers who might otherwise compete with us. A second factor that helped us in 2000 was that the market for junk bonds dried up as the year progressed. In the two preceding years, junk bond purchasers had relaxed their standards, buying the obligations of ever weaker issuers at inappropriate prices. The effects of this laxity were felt last year in a ballooning of defaults. In this environment, financial buyers of businesses, those who wished to buy using only a sliver of equity, became unable to borrow all they thought they needed. What they could still borrow, moreover, came at a high price. Consequently, LBO operators became less aggressive in their bidding when businesses came up for sale last year. Because we analyzed purchases on an all-equity basis, our evaluations did not change, which means we became considerably more competitive. Aside from the economic factors that benefited us, we now enjoy a major and growing advantage in making acquisitions in that we are often the buyer of choice for the seller. That fact, of course, doesn't assure a deal. Sellers have to like our price, and we have to like their business and management, but it does help. We find it meaningful when an owner cares about whom he sells to. We like to do business with someone who loves his company, not just the money that a sale will bring them, though we certainly understand why he likes that as well. When this emotional attachment exists, it signals that important qualities will likely be found within the business. Honest accounting, pride of product, respect for customers, and a loyal group of associates having a strong sense of direction. The reverse is apt to be true also. When an owner auctions off his business exhibiting a total lack of interest in what follows, you will frequently find that it has been dressed up for sale, particularly when the seller is a financial owner. And if owners behave with little regard for their business and its people, their conduct will often contaminate attitudes and practices throughout the company. When a business masterpiece has been created by a lifetime or several lifetimes of unstinting care and exceptional talent, it should be important to the owner what corporation is entrusted to carry on its history. Charlie and I believe Berkshire provides an almost unique home. We take our obligations to the people who created a business very seriously, and Berkshire's ownership structure ensures that we can fulfill our promises. When we tell John Justin that his business, Justin Industries, will remain headquartered in Fort Worth, or assure the Bridge family that its operation, Ben Bridge Jeweler, will not be merged with another jeweler, these sellers can take those promises to the bank. How much better it is for the painter of a business Rembrandt to personally select its permanent home than to have a trust officer or uninterested heirs auction it off. Throughout the years, we have had great experiences with those who recognize that truth and apply it to their business creations. We'll leave the auctions to others. Our long avowed goal is to be the buyer of choice for businesses, particularly those built and owned by families. The way to achieve this goal is to deserve it. That means we must keep our promises, avoid leveraging up acquired businesses, grant unusual autonomy to our managers, and hold the purchased companies through thick and thin, though we prefer thick and thicker. Our record matches our rhetoric. Most buyers competing against us, however, follow a different path. For them, acquisitions are merchandise. Before the ink dries on their purchase contracts, these operators are contemplating exit strategies. We have a decided advantage, therefore, when we encounter sellers who truly care about the future of their businesses. Some years back, our competitors were known as leveraged buyout operators, but LBO became a bad name. So, in Orwellian fashion, the buyout firms decided to change their moniker. What they did not change, though, were the essential ingredients of their previous operations, including their cherished fee structures and love of leverage. Their new label became private equity, a name that turns the facts upside down. A purchase of a business by these firms almost invariably results in dramatic reductions in the equity portion of the acquiree's capital structure compared to that previously existing. A number of these acquirees, purchased only 2 to 3 years ago, are now in mortal danger because of the debt piled on them by their private equity buyers. Much of the bank debt is selling below 70 cents on the dollar, and the public debt has taken a far greater beating. The private equity firms, it should be noted, are not rushing in to inject the equity their wands now desperately need. Instead, they're keeping their remaining funds very private. In the regulated utility field, there are no large family-owned businesses. Here, Berkshire hopes to be the buyer of choice for regulators. It is they, rather than selling shareholders, who judge the fitness of purchasers when transactions are proposed. There is no hiding your history when you stand before these regulators. They can, and do, call their counterparts in other states where you operate and ask how you have behaved in respect to all aspects of the business, including a willingness to commit adequate equity capital. When Mid-American proposed its purchase of Pacificor in 2005, regulators in the 6 new states we would be serving immediately checked our record in Iowa. They also carefully evaluated our financing plans and capabilities. We passed this examination, just as we expect to pass future ones. We hope to buy more regulated utilities in the future, and we know that our business behavior in jurisdictions where we are operating today will determine how we are welcomed by new jurisdictions tomorrow.